Year 3 of the Cropdusters and playoffs number 3 for the Cropdusters. It's a beautiful time of year in mid-July. Hello, everyone. I'm Jish Sokolsky alongside Jack Feldman on the call for this do-or-die game between the 5th-seeded Cropdusters and the 4th-seeded Southern Maryland Senators. Jack, there's just a different feeling to this game.
Jish, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for all season long. I'm excited to witness this game. The lineup the Cropdusters are putting out tonight is phenomenal. They got their ace on the bump in Michael Irby. It's going to be a great time.
Let's talk a little bit about that lineup, because this very same lineup played 2 days ago against the Senators in game 1 of the doubleheader on the last day of the regular season. The exact same lineup, except for that pitching change, Michael Irby. And Jack, the results of that game, a 15-4 win for the Cropdusters. And the Senators lineup doesn't look too different than what we saw in that game 1 either.
Jish, that's the first and only time all season long we've seen that lineup up until today. So you might look at the Cropdusters record and, make some assumptions about them. But this is a new team they're putting out there tonight, pretty much.
It's a brand new team, but they have to face a pitcher that they have seen before, not in that 15-4 win, but in a 3-1 loss to the Senators. The all-star righty Matt Hoover takes the bump to start for the Southern Maryland side tonight. One of 2 of their all-stars. The Cropdusters saw the other all-star pitcher for them in game 2. But Hoover absolutely dominated the Cropdusters the last time that he played them. In that start, he picked up the win, going 5 1/3, with 7 strikeouts and only 1 earned run. Did allow 7 hits, though, with no walks. This is a guy the Cropdusters have hit around. They're just going to have to draw some more walks to. To start us off in the playoffs is Carter Hines. The righty shortstop has been nothing short of phenomenal for the Crops this year, hitting .316, the most among eligible batters on the Cropdusters this season. He's a guy who just gets on, and that's all you need from somebody hitting at the top of the card. Hoover versus Hines, Part 2. We'll see who comes out on top. First pitch. Cracked into left field, and it falls for a base hit. 1 pitch was all it took, and the Cropdusters are already on the base paths.
Did you expect anything less from Carter Hines? Normally goes the other way. Pulled that one into left field.
A nice shot from Hines to get the party started. Now it'll be up to his Shippensburg teammate, Bryce Herb, to keep the party going, as he has practically all summer. At one point was the Cropdusters' leader in batting average. First pitch. Outside, ball 1.
Jish, the last 2 times these teams played looks like a little postseason nerves happening here. Benches got a little chippy at each other, so we'll be interested to see. You can always tell at Regency, you can hear everything the dugout is saying.
Might be dialed up a little bit more in this playoff matchup. 1-0 misses, or finds the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Hoover gets even with Bryce Herb. 1-1. Outside, ball 2. He's tried that off-speed twice, and it's missed in the exact same spot. The fastball from Hoover has been his bread and butter. That's where he can paint the corners. 88 out of his hands the last time he played the Cropdusters. 2-1. Hit high in the air to right center. Carter Groen runs back and makes the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 1. A flyout from Bryce Herb, all-star to all-star.
I don't know if it's just the acoustics of Regency, like we were talking about with the dugouts, but just the crack of the bat here seems to be louder.
It's a loud echo in the stadium. That is because it is built for maybe the independent, maybe minor leagues, and there aren't that many fans here. Up next, another all-star. Jimmy Kirk, the designated hitter tonight, went off in his last time against the Senators just 3 days ago. He swings and misses for strike 1. But in that game, he went 2 for 5 with 2 doubles, including 1 off the top of the center field wall. 3 RBIs in that one. 0-1 the count. Hines, the runner at first, with 1 out in the top of the first. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Hoover sunk low, and Jimmy Kirk went chasing.
You never want to take the bat out of Jimmy Kirk's hand, but Carter Hines over at first is a guy that can swipe a bag. He's done it so many times this season.
14 of them. That led the Cropdusters. 0-2. Swinging a hard hit ball up the middle. Hoover throws back to second for 1. Back to first. A double play to start it off. That ends the first inning. The Cropdusters could only speak of one hit and left one on as we head to the bottom of the first inning, still locked at 0. Cropdusters defense, led by pitcher Michael Irby, have a job to do to keep it locked where we are. Jish, Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call for this playoff broadcast on YouTube. Keep it locked here. We're in a scoreless tie in the bottom of the first inning. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call for this one. Michael Irby is the starter for the Cropdusters, and for great reason. 25 innings pitched led the Cropdusters in the regular season, and an ERA of under 3 at 2.16. Michael Irby has deserved this moment.
He earned it. He's been their ace all season long. Past couple starts have been amazing. He's gotten better and better as the season has gone, and he's primed to pitch deep into this game.
His last start, Jack, you hinted at it. He went 7 innings. That's the most a Cropdusters pitcher has gone. That game was a 12-2 victory over the Gaithersburg Giants, where he went 7, tossed 3 strikeouts, only allowed 1 run. The last time he played the Senators, he was also on fire. Went 3 innings in relief, didn't allow a hit or a run, just 1 walk, and 3 punch-outs for the ECU Pirate. He'll lead off against Logan Tribble, the center fielder, who just transferred to Middle Tennessee State, hitting .221 in the regular season with only 4 extra base hits, but this guy gets on. He's walked 12 times, the 3rd most on the Senators. First pitch from Irby. A swing and a high chopper down the third base line. That's through to the outfield for a base hit. First pitch and the first hit for the Senators, much like the Cropdusters just did in the top of the frame. So Logan Tribble gets on with a high chopper, and now Michael Irby has to face an all-star. Nathan Brewer, the Middle Tennessee left fielder, steps up to bat. The lefty has played in every game against the Cropdusters this season, or in 4 out of 5 of them, 4 for 13 against the Crops with 2 RBIs. First pitch from Irby. Swing and a fly ball to left field. Okoje runs up, snags it at his knees for out number 1.
A shoestring catch from Ehi Okoje. We've seen him a couple times this season play the ball on a hop on 50-50 balls like that. And it's the playoffs, decided to attack it and made the right call.
Something to monitor. Michael Irby's thrown 2 pitches. Both of them swings have been put on, and both have been driven to left field. Now against the league's home run leader, Carter Groen, Michael Irby can't afford to give up solid contact as he did on the last 2 batters.
Groen, a very dangerous hitter.
He already hit a home run against the Cropdusters this season. That was back at First Responder Field. A solo shot in a 3-1 victory. Sometimes his bat alone can be the difference maker. 1 out with a runner at first. Irby delivers. Called strike on the high corner. His first strike of the game.
We don't have the TrackMan next to us, Jish, but my IDAR is saying low 90s tonight from Irby.
He sat 90 around all season. The 0-1 is shot into left field for another hit. That's 2 hits and 3 batters. Tribble advances to second. Groen to first. And now there's a runner in scoring position for the first time today in the bottom of the first. That brings up Ian Kennedy to bat. The cleanup hitter from the University of Michigan is hitless against the Cropdusters this season in 7 at-bats. Before we square off with him, Quinn Ahern and Michael Irby having a little chat before we continue. Quinn Ahern, the catcher tonight, the only sophomore in the lineup, the only underclassman in the lineup. At first base, Parker Fry. Second base, Anthony Swenda. Shortstop is Carter Hines. At third, Josh Reinhold. In the outfield from left to right, Ahia Kojay, Nick Lukac, and the All-Star Bryce Herb. 1 out, 2 on at second and first. Irby, the first pitch. Just outside, ball 1. Irby tried the slider against the big bat of Ian Kennedy, but he stays steadfast and takes a ball. Here's the 1-0. Too high, ball 2. Irby falling behind. Kennedy hitting .308 in the regular season. It's the third highest on the team. 2-0, 1 out, 2 on. The pitch, swinging a foul ball. Kennedy looked for a similar chopper that put Logan Tribble on. Instead, it just squeezes foul. So now the count goes to 2-1. It appears as though Kennedy's bat has been broken. So he needs a new one before we continue on this at-bat. So far from Irby, not the start we've seen from him typically. 2 early hits. He'll have 20 all year, but in 25 innings pitched, that's less than a hit per inning. He's already got 2 in this first.
He's just leaving some fastballs down the middle right now. Hasn't been hurt too badly on it. Hopefully he can make the adjustment.
So far, the hitters have been expecting that fastball. That's why he tried to start off with some off-speed against Kennedy, but then couldn't find the zone. There's a lot of game left, a lot of time for Irby to tighten up, but in a do-or-die game, every pitch, every at-bat just means a little more.
Looks like Kennedy was getting his hand taped.
Maybe a little splinter. That's gotta hurt.
Jammed or something.
2-1. I'll look back. Irby told to step off as Tribble took a handsome lead at second. He scurries back. 2-1 with 1 out. The pitch. Called strike 2 on the bottom corner. Irby went with the off-speed and got him frozen.
We saw the last time these two teams played, the Senators really took advantage of stealing third base. They were taking huge leads at second.
2-2. Skied foul. He'll stay alive at 2-2. A ballerina count. 1 out. A grounder could get the Cropdusters out of it. They turned 2 double plays in Game 1 of the doubleheader just 3 days ago. That got them out of 2 different innings. 2-2. Swing, and there's the grounder. Reinhold can't field it. It goes through to the outfield. There's a collision. Reinhold on the floor still after colliding with Tribble. Reinhold chased that ground ball and couldn't get a glove on it. Instead, got tangled up with Logan Tribble. A real bang-bang play. It looks like Tribble's also down on the ground at third base.
That looked really scary.
Reinhold rises to his feet, though. It looks like he's all right. Definitely a scary collision, though. Ian Kennedy gets the 3rd hit of the day for the Senators to load the bases with 1 out. And Nate McHugh, the all-star catcher, up to bat. He's walking around. They're making him walk to make sure that he doesn't have any head injuries. We've seen bang-bang plays like this before result in concussions earlier in the season. He's talking it over with the trainer just to make sure he's okay, but, you know, if he is dinged up, Jack, that's not necessarily the end of the world for the Cropdusters. We obviously hope he's okay, but there's plenty of depth, and that's the one great thing about the Cropduster having such a big roster, such a big lineup.
Absolutely. This is not an ideal position for the Cropdusters to be in. Bases loaded. Just 1 out.
At the end of the day, you just hope everybody's all right. Now the umpires are talking because there was a collision. You have to discuss interference. And they do confirm, yeah, he's safe at third. There was never a doubt about that.
if there was never a collision, Triple would have scored on the single. So looks like Reinhold's okay.
That's the most important
kind of a lucky
part.
Break.
That's the most important part at the end of the day.
Everett's okay, yeah.
Yes. So now Nate McHugh steps up with the biggest opportunity of the day so far. We're still locked at 0 in the bottom of the first. They're going to be scoring that in error against Josh Reinhold. That puts Kennedy on. The Cropdusters had the fewest errors in the league in the regular season. Now the catcher takes the first pitch, a fastball inside for ball 1. Irby.
That was a high chopper that Reinhold tried to scoop on the short hop and couldn't quite make contact with the ball.
McHugh hitting .303 in the regular season with 10 extra base hits. A 1-0 barely misses outside for ball 2. So Irby falls behind again. He shakes his head before getting set. 14 RBIs for McHugh as well. That was the third most on the team. Chance to really bring in some more to start this playoff game. 2-0. Fastball low, ball 3. Now one more miss would bring Irby's first walk to life and would bring in the first run of the day. .3-0. Irby shrugs the shoulders. And the delivery. Called strike 1, right down the middle. Irby knew McHugh wouldn't swing at anything, so he took advantage of that with a fastball right down the middle. .3-1. Fastball low, ball 4. With bases loaded, that scores the first run. The Senators jump out to an early 1-0 lead in this elimination game. And the bases are reloaded off the walk.
Still just 1 out, Jish. This is a situation where Michael Irby has to bear down. If you get out of this with 1 run given up, that's easily comebackable. But if the Senators are able to put up a big number here, that's kind of demoralizing in the first inning.
Now it's Mikey Guy up to bat, the Frostburg State third baseman with bases loaded and 1 out. He grounded into a double play the last time he played the Cropdusters. First pitch right down the middle, strike 1. Irby showing no fear with runners all around him, and now a 1-run deficit.
Irby trying to get the ground ball that Matt Hoover got in the top half of the frame.
0-1. High fly ball, that's not a grounder, but it won't leave the infield. Swenda, the second baseman, puts a glove on it, ends the chance of a sac fly with out number 2.
It's probably the next best thing.
So now the pressure's on Owen DeShazo, the Boston College designated hitter with bases loaded and no room to breathe with 2 outs on the board. DeShazo struck out 38 times in the regular season, more than any player in the Cal Ripken League. First pitch, an absolutely disgusting breaking ball down the middle.
You're a big fan of that pitch, Jish.
I think so. It floated up there. It's really the antithesis of what you expect from a first pitch. Sometimes that heater comes out of Irby's hand.
What was that word again?
Antithesis. Huh. Called strike 2 on the inside. Irby's working with his entire arsenal, and now is 1 strike away from leaving 3 ducks on the pond.
Some big words out of you. You're in postseason form, too.
0-2. Swing and a miss. There it is. Strike 3. Irby collects his first K, and the first inning is put to bed with 3 ducks left on the pond. 1-0 Senators after 1. Cropdusters have a chance at redemption at the top of the second. Stay with us on YouTube. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call. 1-0 Senators after 1 inning of play. Jish, Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call for this one. Cropdusters' first 3 batters, all All-Stars, went down in order when we left ya. Jimmy Kirk grounded into a double play to end the first inning. And that'll be up to the heart of the order to get some production. And, Jack, this heart of the order might be just as good as the 3 All-Stars that let us off.
This entire lineup is so deep, there's no weak spots. And starting off with Ahern, Swenda, Fry. 3 hitters all capable of parking one out of the ballpark.
Quinn Ahern, the catcher, is the first one up. 256 in the regular season, the lowest average of the playoff starters. This is a guy who's walked 10 times in 13 games as well. This is a guy who has a knack to get on base. Also, his power is starting to turn on as well. Recently hit his 2nd homer of the year in the last week of the season in a 12-2 win over the Gaithersburg Giants. First pitch is floated in the air to right field. Groen has no trouble getting under it and putting him away for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Matt Hoover, who looks to keep the Cropdusters scoreless after allowing a hit, a flyout, and a double play his last inning. And it's Anthony Swenda up to bat. First pitch, called strike on the high corner for strike 1 to the second baseman. Second pitch, low and away for ball 1. Swenda, the last time he played the Senators, went 1 for 4 with 2 runs, a hit by pitch, and a steal. He was doing it all. 1-1. Swing, shot up the middle for the first hit of the inning. Swenda gets on.
It's not just me, Jish. Like, the crack of the bat tonight sounds...
It's permeating throughout the entire ballpark.
You said it better than me. I don't know what I was going to pull out there, but it was not permeating.
It's a scientific word. Now it's Parker Fry, the lone lefty in the lineup, who turned it on in the second half of the season. 2 homers on the year. And he shoots one to left, and it falls for another base hit. Back-to-back knocks from Swenda and Fry to put runners at second and first. Parker Fry continuing his dominant end of the season to start of the postseason. And now Ehi Akoje steps up to bat.
Really nice swing for Parker Fry, Jish. Just going the other way. Something we've seen more and more from him as of late.
Was aggressive with that first pitch, too. The fastball that he was looking for, absolutely belted. Ehi Akoje swings through the first pitch for strike 1. He's got a lot of power in his bat. It's just a matter of channeling it and sending one out of the park. He's done it twice in the regular season. Both of those against the Alexandria Aces. There's a short porch in left field. That's where both of Akoje's dingers were in the regular season. We'll see if he aims one over that fence with 2 on and 1 out in the top of the second. 0-1 skips away, ball 1 in the dirt. Akoje on the year finished with a .271 average. 7 extra base hits and 12 RBIs. 5 of them came in 1 game. 1-1 with Swenda at second, Fry at first. 2 high, ball 2. Matt Hoover, after having 2 fastballs destroyed for base hits, he's trying a little bit more off speed to Akoje, and he falls behind. A look back, and the 2-1. High and in, ball 3. Akoje, 1 away from loading the bases. One out, 2 on. 3-1 hit high in the air to shallow center. It's Boris, the shortstop, backing up to the grass and making the snag for out number 2. Now, Nick Lukak steps up to bat after a just barely from Ehi Akoje. Nick Lukak had his best game of the season last time he played down here in Waldorf.
You think he's comfortable here?
I think he's pretty comfortable.
I would tend to agree.
He went 2 for 2 in that game with a 3-run bomb, his only homer of the year. 4 runs and 4 RBIs. All of those season highs for the center fielder. First pitch, too high, ball 1. Lukac staying cool as a cucumber with 2 outs. The last thing he wants to do is leave runners stranded. That's a problem that's plagued the Cropdusters all season long. Hoover the look back in the 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Lukac too late on the Hoover fastball. Was going for the fences, but got nothing. 1-1. High fly ball, but popped foul. That's strike 2. Hoover, 1 strike away from ending the inning with his first strikeout. One, 2. 2 outs. Swenda at second. Fry at first. The pitch. Too low. Ball 2. McHugh doing a great slide to keep it in his glove and keep the runners where they are.
Lukac being aggressive early and being more disciplined as the at-bat goes on.
The All-Star Hoover looks to put him away for his first K of the day. 2-2. Swing and another foul ball. That one exploded off of Lukac's bat, though.
He really is looking more locked in with every at-bat here. His at-bats are just getting better and better.
He told us that home run ball was the hardest hit ball of his life. 391 feet, 99 miles per hour off his bat. Another 2-2. Too high, ball 3. Lukac brings the count full.
Great at-bat from Nick Lukac. That's going to release the runners on base with 3-2, 2 outs.
That means if he puts one in play, he'll at least score 1. Full count. 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a ball hit to opposite field that lands in the stands. He'll stay alive and keep the count where it is at 3-2. Hoover in the regular season had 32 punch-outs, the second most on the Senators, with the second most innings at 33 1/3, but 41 hits. That was the most on the team. Full count again. Ball outside. Noah looking strike 3. Some unhappy Cropdusters fans letting the umpire know their frustration, but that's how the inning ends. A looking strikeout for Nick Lukac with a full count keeps the Senators' lead at 1 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call. One 0 in favor of the Senators in this do-or-die playoff game. The bottom of the second awaits. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call, ready to bring you the rest of the action. Michael Irby still out there for the Cropdusters for his second inning of work. Got hit around a little bit in that first inning, 2 hits with a run scored, but he ended it off with an emphatic swing and strikeout.
He did. The stuff looked good. He was just leaving some fastballs in the zone. He can hone in that command. It's going to be Mike Irby we see every time he takes the mound.
He's now facing Silas Boris, the shortstop from the Georgia Southern. hitting in the 8th spot tonight. First pitch inside for ball 1. Boris played in all 5 games against the Cropdusters, including the second half of that doubleheader. 3 hits and 13 at-bats with 4 RBIs. It's the most of any Senators batter against the Cropduster. And why not shoot another one up the middle? Third base hit of the night belongs to the 8-hole hitter Boris. Back-to-back hits to start back-to-back innings. The Senators look very comfortable in this do-or-die game.
They do. They're hitting a lot of balls hard.
It sets the table for Mike Sweeney, hitting at the bottom of the order, the Hofstra second baseman from Chaminade High School on Long Island. A big lacrosse school. He hit 147 in the regular season. 10 hits and 68 at-bats. He swings through the first pitch and fouls it off for strike 1 after showing bunt all the way.
Well, he was doing a fake bunt slash where you show the bunt early, draw in the corner infielders, pull back, and try to hit it hard somewhere.
Didn't work. He hit it hard to the stands in foul territory. 0-1. Change up inside, called strike 2. And a throwback from Ahern to add insult to injury, but now Sweeney down to his final strike.
Sweeney went to Chaminade, as you said, Jish. It is a big lacrosse school, but can't compete with the lacrosse in Maryland.
I don't know about that. 0-2. Fouled off, he'll stay alive. You ever hear of St. Anthony's High School?
Oh, I'd take McDonough over them any day.
Not even close. St. Anthony's, you kidding me?
Jish.
St. Anthony's and also Culver.
McDonough is consistently number 1. I don't want to hear it.
Culver Academy, a military school in Indiana, too. Great lacrosse programs. The 0-2, hit on the ground to short. Hines fields it, cannot find his footing, and can't make the throw. Carter Hines tripped over his own feet, and Mike Sweeney beats out the throw back to first. That's 2 hits to start off the inning.
Some uncharacteristic mistakes from this Cropdusters infield. Carter Hines, Josh Reinhold, 2 of your probably most sound defensive infielders making errors.
We'll see how Point Streak does score that. To me, that might have been a hit.
Well, if he went to first immediately, he would have had Sweeney, but he decided to check second, and that's when.
Corners in. No outs, 2 on. Bunt showed, ball high. Logan Tribble up to bat again. He turned on the first pitch he saw for a single, and he came all the way around to score as well. Might be a little harder for the Cropdusters infielders today. It rained before the game, so the field's a little bit wetter than normal. 1-0. Low and away. Wild pitch gets away from Ahern. Runners advance to second and to third. Boris thought about taking home, but he stops his run at third. Sweeney settles at second. Still no outs. It's getting scary for the Cropdusters.
It is. I don't know if we're in nightmare territory yet, but if Cropdusters aren't able to hold strong the rest of this inning, we could be getting there quickly, Jish. Not an ideal start.
2-0 count, still no outs. Runners in scoring position, and the corner still in. Swing and a shot to right field. Tribble gets another hit. Boris scores from third, but that'll be it. Throw back home from Bryce Herb is enough to keep Sweeney at third, but not enough to stop the score from going to 2-0 in favor of the Senators. 3 straight hits to start off the inning, with runners in the corners now and no outs. And 2 All-Stars up to bat next. It's going to be pretty tricky for Irby to get out of this one.
Irby's facing the heart of this Senators lineup. Some of the best hitters in the league, let alone All-Stars. I mean, it's going to be tough to navigate.
Still no outs. Runners at first and third. Brewer takes a fastball low for ball 1. He lined out to left field his last time up. Ahia Koje did a great job robbing him on the run. 1-0, no outs. The pitch from the stretch. Runner goes. That is cracked deep into right field. Running all the way back at the fence. And it's down for extra bases off the wall. 1 run scores. How about a second? On his horse, Brewer comes to third, and he's safe. A 2-run triple from Nathan Brewer expands the lead to 4-0 in favor of the Senators. Still no outs in the top of the second.
Jish, this is shocking, and we're going to see what the leash is on Irby. It looks like some Cropdusters are hustling to the bullpen. This is not the start they were looking for.
Not the start they expected either. Irby went through 7 flawless innings his last time played. Groen fouls the first pitch he sees for strike 1. And
Irby's been great all season long. He's been their rock, their ace, and just getting hit hard tonight.
All over the place. 0-1, hit up the middle to Hines at short, who makes a throw to first for the first out, but the fielder's choice scores Brewer from third. And it makes it 5-0 Senators in the bottom of the second. Now would you say the Cropdusters have experienced their nightmare?
Yeah, this is nightmare stuff right here.
Ian Kennedy up to bat, reached on an error his last time up. Takes the first pitch, a strike on the low corner to go behind 0-1. While there is movement in the Cropdusters bullpen, I don't think Irby will be done just yet. The leash isn't going to be too tight after what he's been able to do all season. Ball 1 misses high and in. Irby evens it up with a miss. The 1-1. Swing and a wave. Strike 2.
Jish, this is where we're going to see the resilience of this team. They're either going to bend or break right here. See which one it is.
It's already 5-0 in favor of the home side. 1-2. High chopper up the middle. Hines fields it and makes the throw for out 2. After the error earlier in the inning from Carter Hines, he's atoned well with back-to-back plays on the run. Very difficult throws, but Hines makes them. And that brings up Nate McHugh for the second time today. He walked his first time up to bring in the game's first run with bases loaded. Now he'll have to keep the inning alive. Senators have already scored 5 in this frame. Excuse me, they've scored 4 in this frame. First pitch, a slider down the middle for strike 1. Finally, Irby's getting ahead of these batters.
We have not seen Irby be hit like this all season long, Jish.
Already up to 6 hits.
He's the Ripken League ERA leader.
0-1, swing and a miss for strike 2. Now we've yet to see Irby throw this angry either. It looks like there's just an air of frustration. 6 hits already through 1 2/3 for Michael Irby. 0-2. A shot to right field, but fouled off to stay alive at 0-2. But another loud crack of the bat. That's got to be ringing in Irby's ears right now. 0-2. Swing and a chopper that's just barely poked foul. We'll do it again.
Cropdusters' offense is capable of coming back. They've been having good at-bats off of Hoover. Just going to have to see it, Jish.
They just can't keep leaving runners on the bases as they did in back-to-back innings. 5-0.
They got to hit with runners in scoring position.
0-2. Irby looks for strikeout number 2 to end the second. 0-2. Swing and a miss. There it is. 3 straight outs to finally put this inning to bed. Irby has allowed 4 in the second inning, though, to set up the third. Cropdusters in a 5-0 hole with their season on the line. Stay with us for the final 7 innings when we return on YouTube. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call. top of the third inning awaits between the Cropdusters and Senators. The home side leads by 5. As we head to the top of the third, Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call for this one. Jack, you look at the records of these two teams, and it should suggest the Cropdusters would be leading. Despite them being the away team in the 5 seed, they got a 17-19 record, which is one better than the Senators. And we saw what this Cropdusters lineup did to the Senators the last time they played them. A 15-4 win. So far, it's been anything but that kind of domination.
Yeah, and this is a big half inning, Jish, where you just got punched in the mouth if you're the Cropdusters, and they're going to have to punch back. If they get blanked here, that's just really demoralizing.
It's like what Rocky Balboa said. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep going. We'll see how the Cropdusters keep going in the top of the third. Josh Reinhold leads off with a chopper to third, fielded cleanly and thrown cleanly for out number 1.
You strike me as a big Rocky guy, Jish.
I've seen the movie once. One of the movies. Carter Hines steps up to bat after Josh Reinhold went down on the first pitch. Very similar to the last inning where Quinn Ahern did the same thing. Good to see Josh Reinhold's all right, though, after taking a scary collision in the first inning. He's still in the lineup and swinging well for the Cropdusters. Carter Hines singled on the first pitch he saw his last time up. Second time, he hits it on the ground to short. Boris can't field it cleanly, and Hines advances to first on the error.
Jish, we were talking about, before we came back on air, uncharacteristic errors from the Cropdusters. You said both teams got to play on the field.
I'm suspecting, Jack, it's because of the wetter playing conditions. The infield dirt is a little damper than normal. We had not a rainstorm, but a light drizzle before the game. They usually expect a drier playing surface, and now 3 errors split between the two teams. First pitch high and in for strike 1 to Bryce Herb. Flew out his last at-bat. He's got a runner at first with 1 out in the top of this third. 0-1. Swing and a hard hit ball through to right for another hit. Bryce Herb collects his first of the day. Hines goes to second. Bryce Herb gets on.
Cropdusters are set up with runners on first and second and 1 out. Jish, they have to capitalize here.
Jimmy Kirk, the way he's been hitting, he's the perfect person to do it, but he just grounded into a double play in the last inning in this very same scenario. With 1 out, that ended the frame. The last time he played here, though, he almost hit his 4th homer of the year. He led the Cropdusters with 19 RBIs in the regular season. First pitch, right down the middle for strike 1. Normally one Kirk swings at. Oh, 1 the count. 1 out. Hines at second. Herb at first. The 0-1. Outside, ball 1. So Jimmy Kirk continues to wait for his perfect pitch. 1-1 is the count with 1 out. Hoover stands tall, a look back in the delivery. Too high, ball 2, but an excellent frame job from McHugh, the catcher, to try and pin it at the top of the zone. Just too far north. Kirk ahead, 2-1 with his 2 all-star teammates on the bases. A look back and the delivery. Swing and a hard hit ball backwards, almost right to us in the broadcast booth.
He's trying to make a play, Jish. A little bit lower.
Yesterday I was at the Cropdusters practice, Jack, and they gave me a glove and I was shagging fly balls. First time in my life.
How'd that go?
So fun. I couldn't really catch anything, but that's why I'm up here and not down there. 2-2 now. Hoover 1 strike away from punch-out number 2. The 2-2. Outside, ball 3, just barely. Jimmy Kirk brings the count full. Five 0 the Senators lead. Jimmy Kirk looks to take a bite out of that with a swing. Or a take to load the bases. 3-2. Swing and a backwards hit ball. He'll stay alive. Jimmy Kirk got the bat under that pitch. Couldn't quite get the barrel on it. Pressure's high. 2 out, 1 out, 2 on at first and second. Swing and a foul tip in and out of McHugh's glove. Jimmy Kirk barely stays alive. Two straight survival swings for the big man from Millersville. Now he looks for the dagger. Full count. Swing and a high fly ball sent well foul, but into the playground. There's a bunch of kids chasing after it in that right field foul area. I wish First Responder Field had a playground. That would be a nice touch.
I think it's fitting to say the Cropdusters season on life support right now a little bit, and who better to resuscitate them than greatest player in Cropdusters history.
Jimmy Kirk in his third season with the team has the most home runs all time, 13 of them in the regular season. Had a home run in last year's playoffs as well. 3-2 is belted high and deep into right center. Groen stops his run, feet away from the warning track. Hines tags up from second, and he gets the third, but Herb tried going to second. The ball gets away from Kennedy, the first baseman, and Herb gets to second. Hines comes home. He's safe standing up. It looks as though Ian Kennedy took a shot to the face. Did the ball hit him? Cam Hyder, the Cropdusters' first base coach, is on the ground with the Senators' first baseman, who seemingly was crawling to that ball that got away from him. So 2 outs as it stands, 1 run scored for the Cropdusters. Ian Kennedy with his hands on his knees. Hopefully he's okay. We've already seen 1 injury scare. Players' health has to come to the forefront now.
Absolutely.
The comedy of errors scores the first run for the Cropdusters. Carter Hines came home on the sacrifice fly from Jimmy Kirk. Plus the error. Bryce Herb advances to second. Trainer's looking at him, and his head coach Scott Middleton as well. Real classy job from Cam Hyder to call the trainers over, seeing that the first baseman was in pain. Looks like something might have hit his eye. That's where he keeps rubbing, motioning. You don't want to speculate, but it's definitely one of the more sensitive parts of the body.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
If you argued with that, I just think you'd hate me, Jack.
You could never make me hate you, Jish.
Aww. I'm glad to hear that. You know, I hope this isn't our last broadcast, but those are some good words to go out on if it is.
Man. Me too.
It's been a fun summer, Jack, for sure. Now Quinn Ahern up to bat. It appears as though Kennedy's all right. He already had to get his hand wrapped up in the first inning and during an at-bat. Now on defense, get some medical attention.
Also, when you're playing first base, kind of need your eyes. Pretty important. Catching a lot of balls there.
I think in any position in baseball, you really need your eye.
Oh, yeah,
got to keep it on the ball. Ahern takes the first pitch. A fastball inside for strike 1.
You got to keep it on the ball. That is true.
0-1 the count with 2 outs. Bryce Herb, the runner at second. The Cropdusters trail by 4 in the top of this third. 0-1. High and in. Ball 1. Ahern does a little limbo to get away from it. One, 2 outs. Hoover rocking back and forth. That's bombed into right foul territory. That's a good souvenir for fans that were waiting right there on the concourse. But now Hoover's down, or excuse me, Ahern's down to his final strike. Hoover wants the dagger here after just giving up his clean sheet. 1-2. Swing and another foul ball. Ahern extends his stay. One, 2 for the second straight pitch. Hoover gets the signal. 1-2. Outside, ball 2. Ahern evens it up with a ballerina count. 2-2.
Hoover, double the amount of strikes as he has balls. That's what you come to expect out of a guy like him.
2-2, high and in, ball 3. Another full count in back-to-back batters. Ahern searching for his first base of the contest. Both of Ahern's homers came over the left field wall, too. See if he has another in him here in Waldorf. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the inning. Hoover went with a slider far away from the plate. It fooled Ahern, and it puts the Cropdusters away, but they finally get on the scoreboard with their first run. They leave a runner on to boot. 5-1, Senators lead over the Cropdusters, and the red-hot bats continue at the bottom of the third. Just means more. The loser goes home. Stay with us to find out who that is on YouTube. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call. Five to 1. The Senators lead over the Cropdusters in the bottom of the third inning. I'm Jish Sokolsky, joined by Jack Feldman. And Michael Irby, the starting pitch for the Cropdusters day, has been a game of fortunately, unfortunately. Fortunately, he got out of his last 2 innings with loud swing and strikeouts. Unfortunately, those are his only 2 strikeouts of the game, and he's given up 5 runs.
You're at a point now where you just got to wipe what happened in the past, try to give your team the best chance to win and compete out there. And Michael Irby can compete.
The numbers don't look good, but it's the intangibles that count now. 6 hits in 2 innings from Michael Irby. That's 3 per frame. He starts off against Mikey Guy, who popped out his last time up, and checks his swing on the first pitch for strike 1. Went around that first base line. The righty falls behind to the righty, Irby.
Irby let up leadoff hits his first 2 innings of work, trying to avoid that in the third.
So far off to a good start with an 0-1 to Mikey Guy, who hit a home run in Game 1 of the season versus the Crops. Swing and a miss for strike 2 on a pitch well far away from his range, strike 2. And Irby, we saw it in the last 2 batters of the last frame. He started to pick it up after giving up the huge triple. We'll see if he's got some fight left. 0-2 for the leadoff guy in the bottom of the third. Swing and a hard hit ball through to left for another leadoff single.
Third straight leadoff single led up by Michael Irby on an 0-2 fastball. That just can't happen. You got to make a better 0-2 pitch there, Jish.
You can afford to throw the kind of creative off-speed, one that has a lot more move to try and draw a swing. You can't give him something that he can square up on. That's exactly what Guy did. So now he'll have to face off against the designated hitter, Owen DeShazo, one of 2 strikeout victims for Michael Irby. He went down swinging in 3 pitches his last time up. Had 38 of them in the regular season. That led the Senators. Now with a runner at first for the 3rd straight inning and no outs, Michael Irby has to lock back in. A quick talk with his catcher, Quinn Ahern, before we continue. Guy, the runner at first. DeShazo takes the first pitch low, ball 1. 1-0. Runner at first. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
The slider's been going for him, Jish. That's a really nice pitch.
It's one that the Senators' bats think they can swing at, but just simply can't. 1-1 on the way. Off speed low. That pulls Owen DeShazo again, 2-1. 2-1 the count. Runner at first. Check swing on a pitch low. Ball 3. Irby tried the slider 3 straight times. DeShazo wasn't fooled on the last 2. He's now 1 pitch away from his first walk. The 3-1. Right down the middle. Strike 2. Michael Irby brings the count full. Irby has already allowed 7 hits through 2 innings of play, yet to record an out in this third. 3-2. Called strike down the middle. 2 strikeouts for Owen DeShazo. 3 from Michael Irby, who gets his first out in the third inning.
Got it with a curveball. Just froze DeShazo. How do you like your pizza, Jish?
Frozen, Jack. Are you going to buy anything, Jack, or are you just looking? That's one of my favorites. Runner at first with the bottom of the order up. Number 8-hole hitter, Silas Boris. Swings and waves, strike 1.
Can I help you? Nope. Just looking.
Just looking. Maybe I think I might have flubbed it. 0-1 the count. Boris had a loud single his first time up. Came all the way around and scored. 0-1. Called ball, low and away, to even it up with a ball and a strike. It would be huge for Irby to come out of this one scoreless, but he's still 2 outs away. He's given up runs in his first 2 innings pitched. 1-1. Fastball just outside for ball 2. Boris pulls ahead. 2-1 the count. Guy at first. He takes a healthy lead with 1 out. The 2-1. High fly ball to right field. Herb stumbles, slides, can't put a glove on it. It's on the grass for a base hit. Guy looks for 3. Throw is not on time. He's there safely. Bryce Herb tripped a little bit on his way up to track that fly ball. Fell just inches away from his glove. And those inches are the difference between out number 2 and runners in the corners. The Senators took the latter scenario.
Well, Michael Irby certainly was not helped out by his defense tonight, Jish. Bryce Herb just stumbled, you're right. And if he didn't stumble, he makes that catch. Just got under his glove. Unfortunate.
It looks like that's Michael Irby's day, though. Only got through 2 1/3, allowed 8 hits. By far his most in an outing this summer. 5 earned runs, also his most. And the Cropdusters are passing the baton to a reliever early. That appears to be, from our vantage point, Tori Indomenico. Confirm whether or not that is in just a moment. That is Tori Indomenico, the lefty from Notre Dame. A great choice from the Cropdusters. This has been a reliever who's just gotten better and better as the season has progressed, and he can eat up many innings.
He can, and they're going to need him to. Still just the 3rd inning.
That's the difference between him and a guy like Pavlos Piparakis, another reliever of the Cropdusters, more than likely will rely on heavily during this postseason. Piparakis is really good, but we'll give you 2, maybe 1 inning. You want him more in those closing situations. Indomenico has been a starter at points in the season, has eaten up 4 or 5 innings. If he can get it going and keep it locked in, then he can right the ship for the Cropdusters. Great song that's playing right now, Jack. This is...
In my head, I actually said, I like this song.
It's Duvet by Boa. It's in my playlist.
Boa?
Yeah, I think it's a Scandinavian band of sorts. I'll have to look that up. I don't want to be too presumptuous, but an amazing song. Huge fan of this song. And Cropdusters fans are huge fans of Torrey and Domenico. 19 1/3 innings pitched with a 3.72 ERA. Only 10 walks to 18 strikeouts.
And Jish, he uses that slider. He'll go to it 5-6 straight times. His slider is his A1 pitch.
His fastball also, not slouchy at all, can reach up to 89 miles per hour, maybe 90 on a really good day. We've yet to see that in a game. His last time out, he was sitting more 85 with the fastball. But in Domenico now looks to get out of this jam with 1 out and runners at first and third. All he needs is a grounder to get out of it and leave the Senators scoreless for the first inning today. He's up against Mike Sweeney first, the second baseman, who singled his last time up. Runner goes. Ball low. Ahern's not even going to try the throw. No fielders there to cover. A successful steal for Boris to take the double play off the table. Now 2 in scoring position, and Domenico's got to be even more careful. The 1-0. Outside, ball 2.
You do have a base open, but you don't want to bring up the leadoff hitter in Logan Treble. Want to go right at Sweeney.
Tribble is 2 for 2 on the day already with a run. 2-0. Right down the middle, strike 1.
That's really been the difference in this game is the big-time players for the Senators have showed up. Tribble 2 for 2. Nathan Brewer a triple. Carter Grone a hit.
2-1. At his feet. Did it hit him? Yes, it did. Right at Sweeney's ankle, a hit by pitch loads the bases. So now what the Cropdusters hope to avoid has come to light. Bases loaded yet again with the top of the order up. Logan Tribble has been perfect today in 2 at-bats. Now a prime chance to drive in his first runs. With 1 out. Bases loaded. Ball low. Gets through the legs of Ahern. A quick recovery, though. Keeps Guy at third.
Not what anybody expected from the Cropdusters' point of view heading into today.
It's 5-1 in favor of the Senators in the bottom of this third. And Domenico has thrown just 1 strike to 4 balls.
Just a ground ball away, Jish.
But no room for error. Corner infield in, middle infield back. 1-0, just outside, ball 2. A walk would bring in the Senators' 6th run of the day. (2-0). Called ball low and away to make it 3-0. And Domenico is missing arm side consistently. 1 more miss will bring in another run. 3-0. 2 low, ball 4. Tribble walks. Guy scores from third.
Jish, I said it before. I don't think this is who this Cropdusters team is. It's just really unfortunate. I think this team's ceiling is much higher than what they've shown today, and this is a game that they should win, in my opinion. It's just a bad day to have a bad day.
And the Cropdusters are having themselves a bad day. 6-1, the Senators now lead over the Cropdusters. In just the bottom of the third inning, it could get really ugly really fast.
I think it's...
Brewer pokes one foul for strike 1. Barely poked out of play, but if that stayed down the line, that could have cleared the bases. Brewer hit a triple his last time up.
I think it's already getting pretty ugly, Jish, but Torrey and Domenico can't mitigate the damage here. It could be getting into territory where it'd be unlikely for a comeback, although it's still just the bottom of the third.
He's got to get out of this jam first. The 0-1. Swinging a high chopper right to Fry at first, who throws back to first for out number 2 on a fielder's choice to score 1. Sweeney comes home, or excuse me, Boris comes home from third. Sweeney advances to third. dribble to second on a fielder's choice.
On a day where it seems like the game is sped up for some, Parker Fry, calm, cool, and collected, makes the play, looks to throw home, sees he doesn't have a play, and tosses it over to first.
Regardless, it's 7-1 in favor of the Senators, their largest lead of the day, and they intentionally walk Carter Groen. They do not want the league's leading home run hitter to get a swing of the bat and make it even worse, so the Cropdusters intentionally load the bases again with 2 outs.
I'm a fan of that move.
Brings up Ian Kennedy.
I think that's the right decision there.
I think it's correct as well, but now if Ian Kennedy puts one in play, he fouls one back to start it off for strike 1. Then it could be good night for the Cropdusters early. Last year, the Senators and the Cropdusters faced off in round 1 of the playoffs. Cropdusters won 10-0. So far, the reverse of that. 0-1 in the dirt for ball 1. Good block from Ahern to keep Sweeney at third.
Checking back over on the other game tonight, that's the big strain, still beating the Braves 5-0 in the bottom of the 4th.
1-0. Powered deep into foul territory. Reinhold, the third baseman, puts a hand out and the glove on the ball to leave the bases stranded. But it might be too little too late for the Cropdusters, who trail 7-1 after 3 innings of play. The offense needs to get going in a big way in the top of this 4th. Stay with us to find out if they do. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call for this playoff matchup between the Senators and Cropdusters in favor of the home side at 7-1. Matt Hoover, their starting pitcher, has been a big reason why. He's allowed 4 hits, but not when they've mattered. Cropdusters, as they've done all season long, just keep leaving guys on.
That really has been the story of the Cropdusters season, Jish. And Hoover has pitched in and out of trouble, but at the end of the day, you look up at his line so far, and he's on his way to a clutch playoff performance.
2 strikeouts for the starter, only 1 run allowed. That wasn't earned, though. Looking to keep that playoff ERA at 0. Anthony Swenda steps up to bat. He notched a hit off of Hoover in his first time around back in the 2nd. Now he leads off the 4th. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Swenda got a fastball to start off. Just couldn't get the timing. 0-1. Low and away, ball 1. Swenda came in and was a godsend for a week for the Cropdusters. Swing and a miss for strike 2. He came in when the Cropdusters were slumping the hardest as a team offensively. His first start for the Cropdusters, he went 4 for 4 with a home run. In just 11 games played, he had 3 of them. The 1-2 is in the dirt for ball 2. Swenda evens it up with a ballerina count. To end the year, Swenda hit .325. High and in, ball 3, a full count to start off the frame. 3-2. Low and in. Swenda gets on with a walk. It's an encouraging sign for the Cropdusters, who need to surmount 6 runs in the last 6 innings.
They're going to need to start hitting sooner rather than later.
Parker Fry could be a good start to that hitting party that they need. Had a base knock his last time up on the first pitch he saw. Hoover getting a talking to from Mike Sweeney and Nate McHugh before we trudge on any further. Anthony Swenda, the runner at first base. First walk of the day for the Cropdusters. Parker Fry got a hit in this scenario last time, but with one fewer out, we'll see if he can get another knock. Swenda at first, the pitch. Fastball on the out corner, strike 1. Oh, 1 the count. Hoover dances back and forth, and Fry fouls off the 0-1 to go down to his second strike. Swenda at first with no outs on the top of the 4th. Cropdusters need Parker Fry to get on. 0-2. Outside, ball 1. One, 2 the count. Hoover in search of that third strikeout. Can get it right here. Too high, ball 2. You said it in the last inning, Jack. Parker Fry staying cool, calm, and collected despite the chaos around him. Worked himself into a 2-strike count, but isn't taking any desperation swings. Hoover comes set. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Parker Fry goes down swinging. Matt Hoover collects his 3rd strikeout. So now Ehi Okoje is up to bat. Popped out to the shortstop in his last frame. He drew a 3-1 count before doing so. First pitch, right in the money land, strike 1. Oh, 1 the count. Swenda at first with 1 out now. Takes the second pitch low and away, barely missing that corner for ball 1.
Cropdusters have been putting traffic on the bases all night long. Just have to start getting them in, Jish.
Don't be surprised if Swenda tries to jump one. Fastball high and in for ball 2. He had a steal the last time he played here. But with the wet infield, it might be a little harder to slide.
Slow you down a little bit.
2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Okoje got a piece of it, but just not enough. Now a 2-2 count, and Hoover looks for back-to-back Ks.
The mud can definitely make you slower as a runner.
2-2. In the dirt, ball 3, another full count.
Nobody up in the Senators' bullpen. My guess would be there's not going to be anybody up in the bullpen for a while. This is Matt Hoover's game.
They'll let him go as long as he can. In a do-or-die wildcard game. Full count pitch, blasted foul into the parking lot. Fans wait with bated breaths, hoping it didn't hit their car.
Yeah, I think that did hit a car, Jish. I heard something.
Hopefully not mine.
Oh, yeah, hopefully not mine.
That happened.
We've already been there this season.
Definitely did. Full count, 1 out. Swenda at first, top of the 4th. Crops trail by 6. Swinging a foul ball. Okoje stays alive by the skin of his teeth.
Okoje swinging at a slider out of the zone did just enough to stay alive.
It's important to keep the pitch count low if you're Matt Hoover, because he's been dealing so far. You wouldn't want to see him be taken out as he approaches the 105 pitch mark. 3-2. Called strike 3 on the top corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Senators' ace. He's been well ahead of the Cropdusters' bats all day. Nick Lukac has to play the hero here. He struck out his last time, but with 2 outs, he can't afford to do so again in a 6-run hole. Top of this 4th, Swenda takes the lead off of first. First pitch too low, ball 1. Senators have only been around for 2 years. This would be their first playoff win if the result holds. Ball 2. A bit too low for Lukac's liking. 2-0 the count. The Cropdusters looking for their 3rd playoff win in existence. 2-0. Buried in the bottom corner. Strike 1. Not one Lukac could even get a good swing on if he wanted to. Hoover's been painting the corners with ease. 2-1. Too low. Ball 3. Hoover on the verge of his 2nd walk this inning and 2nd walk of the day. But a swinger's count first for Nick Lukac, who hit one off the red roof over the left field wall, as you see in the picture, last time he was here. He sends it that way again, but it's not going nearly as far. Left fielder Brewer puts a glove on it as he jogs to the warning track and back to the dugout with out number 3. 7-1, the Cropdusters can gain no ground in the 4th and will have to kick the can down the road to the 5th. But first, the bottom of the 4th, where the Senators can pile it on even more. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call. Seven to 1, the Senators lead over the Cropdusters with their season on the line in this one-and-done wildcard playoff game. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call for this one. It's just seemed like everything has gone wrong for the Cropdusters today. After everything went right for them the last time they played here, the bats just have not woken up. The pitching, they're already on to their first reliever. They need answers, and they need them quick. Bottom of the 4th, up next, Nate McHugh to lead off for the Senators. Torrey Indomenico on the mound. Indomenico got out of bases loaded his last inning. Brewer slices one to center field. Lukac only has to move up 3 steps to put a glove on it for out number 1.
They need to figure things out, Jish, and figure them out quickly.
That's a good start, though, for the Cropdusters. It's the first time today they haven't allowed the leadoff man on. The first leadoff man that Indomenico has faced. Torrey Indomenico will have to put on a superhuman effort to keep the score where it is against these red-hot Senators bats. Mikey Guy hit a base hit his last time up. Takes the first pitch, a slider down the middle for strike 1. There's the patented Indomenico slider. 0-1. Too low, ball 1. Gets away from Ahern, but with no runners on, the damage is mitigated. Guy was a person who worked a 2-strike count, went down 0-2 before recording a hit. 1-1, too low for ball 2. This is his 2nd year with the Senators. It's rock solid as they come. Their only D2 prospect on the roster. He hits one right up the middle, off the glove of Indomenico, but through to center field. Another hit for Mikey Guy.
9th hit of the game for the Senators. You just can't win when you're allowing numbers like that in the 4th inning.
Even in a full game situation, that would be enough for the Senators to win. They've done it in 4 innings.
You really can't draw this stuff up. I don't think either of us expected this type of performance.
Oh, and DeShazzo up to bat now. He struck out twice today. The only Senators batter who hasn't been dialed in. First pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. Indomenico starts him off where he left off. 0-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2, and now he's at risk of striking out for a 3rd time. 0-2. Indomenico wants his first strikeout with the next pitch. He can't get it. Slider off the plate. He taps his chest saying, "My bad," as 1 ball strikes across the scoreboard. Mikey Guy has his lead from first base, the lone base runner with 1 out. 1-2 barely misses outside, right on the black of the strike zone. But DeShazzo with a great take to even it up at 2-2. Ballerina count, 2-2. High and away, ball 3. After putting DeShazzo down to his final strike, Indomenico has tossed 3 straight balls.
Indomenico seems a little frustrated with himself right now. Gotta stay composed on that mound.
3-2. Misses inside. That's a walk. Mikey Guy trots to second. DeShazzo gallops over to first. And now there's runners at first and second. Cropdusters just can't catch a break. Assistant coach Cam Hyder it's Mike Evans already talking to Tori Indomenico before we continue.
And these are the guys, Jish. Michael Irby, Tori Indomenico, they've been doing it all season long. And if you lose with these guys, you can hold your head up high because they've been awesome all season long to watch and been awesome on the field. But no one's going to be here to help out Tori Indomenico. He has to figure out a way to get this job done himself.
I think the coaching staff has noticed his body language and they just want to get him right before he faces off against Silas Boris, who is 2 for 2 on the day. Best day of the season. Comes in when they need him most. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch. Called ball outside. The slider can't break into the righty. Another ball. That's 6 straight for Indomenico. Puts Boris up 2-0. Two balls. Golfed into right field. Herb backs up. Puts a glove on it as he slips and makes the long throw back to third. But Hines tried picking it off and tagging out Guy, but he just barely didn't reach.
That was almost an incredible play.
That would have been an all-star caliber to say the least. Guy thought about tagging up, ran back a little late, not knowing if Bryce Herb could make that squeeze. There's a little mud patch out in right field that Herb slipped on again. That's where he slipped back in the last frame. Something to monitor. 2 outs, and Mike Sweeney up to bat, who takes a pitch low for ball 1. This is the first batter that Indomenico faced, and he got plunked in his last time up. 1-0. Swing and a high chopper up the middle. Hines fields it, throws, and that's tried and true. The Cropdusters collect their first shutout inning of the game, but they still trail by 6 after 4. 7-1, the Senators over the Cropdusters in this playoff game. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call with you. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call here on YouTube. Matt Hoover has been electric for the Senators, who find themselves up 7-1 over the Cropdusters after 4. Josh Reinhold to lead off the 5th with attempts of finally putting a dent in Hoover's armor. Only 1 run, not scored to him, and he just came off his most productive inning with 2 strikeouts the last frame.
He really has been electric.
First pitch to Reinhold, inside, but a called strike.
The velo's been looking good for him. He's been commanding all night long. In his 5th inning of work, only giving up 1. That's pretty good, Jish.
4 strikeouts for Hoover. Reinhold puts one up the middle and through. That's his first hit to start off the 5th inning. Some silver lining for the Cropdusters, whose bats have started strong in 4 out of 5 of the frames, getting on with the leadoff guy, but only have scored once. Josh Reinhold getting on from the bottom of the order is good news to bring up the top of the card. Carter Hines has reached base twice with a hit and an error. Now with no outs and a runner at first, he's looking for another good piece of contact. First pitch from Hoover, inside, ball 1.
Swung at the first pitch in both his at-bats. Takes the ball there.
Showing that he still has some patience in that bat. Not just trying to swing at everything. Swing and a miss for strike 1, though. That's the pitch he wanted. The pitch he's seen numerous times today. Just couldn't quite get the timing on it. One is the count. Reinhold, the runner at first, with no outs in the top of the 5th. Crops trail by 6. Called strike on the low corner. The fastball painted in there. Hoover is on the verge of strikeout number 5. Hines puts his hard hat on and gets back to work. 1-2. Swing, shot down the right field line, but sent foul. Carter Hines gets to swing another day. Carter Hines, one of 2 players in this Cropdusters lineup that did not hit a home run this season. 1-2, high at the hands, ball 2. But he impacts the game in many different ways. He's one of the best contact hitters on the team. Finished the season with the most hits on the squad, 36 of them, in 114 at-bats. 2-2. Swing and a foul tip. Hines keeps it locked.
He does whatever it takes on the baseball diamond. Plays great defense. The shortstop position can absolutely fly. And a great contact tool, like you said, Jish.
Coach Evans said this team goes where Carter Hines takes them. Doesn't speak a lot. He's one of the quieter guys on the team, so when he does speak up, players tend to listen, according to Coach. 2-2. Swing, hit up the middle, off the glove of Hoover. That dies in the infield. A play on the run is to be made. What a play from Sweeney to put the first out on the board. Great adjustment from the second baseman from Hofstra to beat out the run from the speedy Carter Hines. It brings Josh Reinhold to second, but puts the first out on the board. One out, and Reinhold at second. Bryce Herb up to bat, the other member of the Cropdusters, yet to hit a home run. But for a good stretch of the season, he had a streak of extra base hits. He chops one down the middle. That's through for a base hit. Reinhold rounds from second, and he comes home. Cropdusters get their second run of the day off a Bryce Herb single.
Bryce Herb having himself a day.
Now 2 for 3 on the day. And Jimmy Kirk up to bat. Could this be the start of something new for the Cropdusters? It appears as though there is a meeting at the mound. The first one for Matt Hoover, with Davis Rivers, the other all-star for the Senators, warming up in the bullpen. He will stay out there. This is Rivers' first inning warming up. They're probably going to let Hoover cook a little bit more before they even think about taking him out.
Jish, you got a beautiful outfit on today. The Cropdusters t-shirt.
This button-up shirt actually was a gift from Coach Evans yesterday. I hear you got a t-shirt as well. Do you mind telling them what it says? Do you remember?
I don't reckon. No,
something about you being a Cropduster, right? But not in the airplane kind of way.
Yeah, it's a play on words.
I can't confirm nor deny that, as someone who sits in a booth with him.
I think my dad will enjoy that shirt.
Time called a warning called against the Cropdusters bullpen. Not sure for why. The first base umpire already laying down the law. Bryce Herb is at first. Jimmy Kirk is at the plate with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Cropdusters now only trail by 5. Jimmy Kirk searching for his first hit of the day. Picked up an RBI his last time up with a sac fly that brought in a runner from second. First pitch to Kirk is high and in for ball 1. Hoover's first pitch after a brief hiatus had the meeting and then the warning. There's been plenty of time for Hoover to stew. 1 out. 2 low. Ball 2. It's a smart idea to pitch around Jimmy Kirk, who, even though he hasn't hit a home run in over a month, has the power and the reputation to muscle one out anytime he's up. 2-0. Runner at first. 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a deep fly ball to left that just barely pokes foul. That could have been maybe a triple for Jimmy Kirk if it stayed fair, but just curved and sliced beyond that line. Almost hit the new reliever for the Senators.
That was one of the hardest hit balls I've seen all season. That was absolutely demolished.
Lasered it. Just could not put it in play. That'll bring the first strike to the scoreboard for Kirk, and now Hoover has to be trembling in his boots ever so slightly. You don't just file that swing away.
Well, we saw that Kirk was way out in front. Maybe we'll try to attack him with some sliders down and away. That is Kirk's kryptonite.
2-1, Herb at first with 1 out. There's the slider down and away, but no dice. Ball 3. Kirk was ready for it.
Cropdusters just have to keep chipping away and chipping away.
That's their only avenue back in the top of the 5th. 3-1. Called strike on the low corner. Jimmy Kirk thought he had the walk, began the strut, but instead has to lock back in with a full count. Hoover, an excellent job tattooing that one in the bottom corner. Full count. 2 low, ball 4. Undeniably, Jimmy Kirk takes first base.
An opportunity for the middle of this Cropdusters order.
Seems as though there's Cropdusters fans that are letting the umpire hear about that call. They say all day. That's where they claim pitches have been, but they won't see pitches from Matt Hoover anymore. His day is done after his second walk and 2 earlier hits this inning. That brings on another all-star for the Senators, Davis Rivers. Matt Hoover's day is done, but a great day for him. Only 6 hits and 4 1/3 with 1 earned run, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. That could potentially be all it takes.
Great performance for Matt Hoover. He's going to walk off to some loud applause from these Senators fans, and deservedly so.
The Senators have 2 all-stars in their pitching room. Here's the other. Davis Rivers steps out for his second appearance against the Cropdusters. His first one was a start against them just 3 days ago in Game 2 of the doubleheader. He went 2 1/3 in that one with 5 strikeouts, a really hot start for the righty. But as the game wore on, so did his arm. 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, including a 3-run homer from Sammy Lease. He'll look to keep a hot start consistent throughout the day now. Just 1 out and 2 runners on. The Senators aren't playing around with this 5-run lead.
This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination.
It's not over, and the Cropdusters were seemingly out of it for the first 4 innings, but finally they're showing signs of life. 2 hits and a walk already in this 5th, only 1 out to speak of. With the 4-hitter Quinn Ahern up to bat. He struck out his last time. They're going to let Davis warm up a little bit more. The Wofford College righty is one of the best in the business. 34 strikeouts in the regular season, led the Senators. Quinn Ahern, the catcher from UPenn, steps into the righty batter's box as the sun firmly sets here in Waldorf. Cropdusters looking to not let the sun set on their season. Herb at second, Kirk at first, Ahern at the dish, and Rivers, the new pitcher. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Rivers floated an off-speed to start off Ahern, who went chasing and got nothing. Oh, 1 the count. Rivers ahead. He started off the game with 2 straight strikeouts in his last appearance with the Cropdusters. Second one well outside for ball 1. McHugh had to leap and lunge for that one. If he didn't put a glove on it, that could put 2 in scoring position. Take the double play off the table. If the Senators turn 2, the inning is over. 1-1. Inside, but a called strike 2 right at his waist. It would be a shame if the Cropdusters inning ended on a double play. This has been their most productive thus far.
Just 1 out, runners on first and second.
1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ahern strikes out for the 2nd time today. That's out number 2 in the 5th inning. Davis Rivers looks to finish what Matt Hoover started. Anthony Swenda now with a tall task on his shoulders. A hit and a walk have highlighted his day. Now with 2 runners on and 2 outs, he'll need a repeat performance of 1 of the 2. First pitch low, ball 1. A soft landing breaking ball did not scare Anthony Swenda.
Anthony Swenda can pull his team right back in it with 1 crack of the bat.
Was second on the team with 3 homers in the regular season, 10 RBIs. Swing and a hard-hit foul ball for strike 1. First piece of lumber that's been put on a Davis Rivers ball, but that evens the count. Huge at-bat on the line, a 1-1 count awaits. With 2 outs, runners go. Pitch low for ball 2, and Herb slides safely to third. Kirk stays at first. A steal to put a runner at third with 2 outs. Can make it a little easier for Swenda.
Boy, if that's the situation, if you steal there, you gotta be safe. Herb was.
McHugh didn't even make a challenge throw. Now a wild pitch could bring him home. Runners in the corners, 2 outs, 2-1. Off his shoulders, Anthony Swenda gets plunked and loads the bases with Parker Fry up to bat. Parker Fry hit a grand slam earlier this year in a 9-6 win over the Metro South County Braves. It was a 9-6 win for the Cropdusters. That was one of his 2 homers on the year. And he has a chance for Grand Slam number 2 if he can poke one out of this ballpark.
Big spot for the big fella.
2 outs, bases loaded. The pitch from Rivers. High and away, ball 1. Fry also recognizes that a walk could bring in a run. Also well on the possibility for the lefty.
Still just the top of the 5th inning. Plenty of time.
2 outs, bases loaded, the 1-0. Right down the middle, strike one. A long game, but if the Cropdusters blow this opportunity, they may not get another one.
They have to capitalize here, Jish. You're absolutely right.
1-1. Fry is 1 for 2 on the day, striking out his last time up, but a single his first time. 1-1. Too low, ball 2. Parker Fry with a courageous take on a ball that could have gone either way. Two 1, 2 outs, bases juiced. Rivers, the nod and the delivery. Swing right at Sweeney. Out number 3 on a line out to leave the bases loaded for the Cropdusters. Still staring at a 5-run deficit. A huge piece of defense from the Hofstra second baseman to put this inning to bed. 7-2, the Senators lead over the Cropdusters, with a chance to pile it on even more when we return. Stay with us on YouTube. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman. The Cropdusters might have just squandered their best opportunity of the night. Keep it locked here to see how they respond, though. They trail 7-2 to the Southern Maryland Senators in this one-and-done playoff game. Torian Domenico steps out for his second full inning of work. In the last frame, he held the Senators scoreless for the first time today. He needs a similar fate to keep this one within reach for the Crops. First batter up, Mike Sweeney, who just robbed the Cropdusters of more runs in the last frame. He fouls off the first pitch for strike one. The second baseman lunged over to snag a Parker Fry line drive to end the inning. 0-1 slides in, strike two. And Domenico's command looking cautiously better to start this fifth. Threw 6 straight balls at one point in the fourth. And just as I say that, he misses in the dirt for ball one. Talk about an announcer's jinx.
Funny how that works.
It really is funny how that works. You can never say a good thing about a player, can you? We should just be negative all the time. Pessimists, right? 1-2. And Domenico looking for his first punch-out on the leadoff man in the fifth inning. High and away, ball two. Similar to the at-bat he had against Owen DeShazo, where he went up 0-2 before walking him. And Domenico tossed 2 straight balls. How about 3? Full count for the leadoff Mike Sweeney. 3-2. Swing and a high fly ball sent foul. So he stays another night. And stays alive with a 3-2. Swing and a miss! You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Domenico gets his first strikeout of the day on the leadoff Mike Sweeney.
Who's Hotel California?
The Eagles.
The Eagles. You a big Eagles guy?
The football team, yes. There we go.
You're a diehard Eagles fan. You
Die
and Mike
hard.
Trout.
Mike Trout is exactly who the Cropdusters need at
Be
this
nice.
venture. It would be very nice.
Throw him out there in center field.
That was Logan Tribble who struck out, so it's Nathan Brewer now up to bat. Somewhere my wires got crossed here. Brewer 1 for 3 on the day with a triple. Fouls off the first pitch for strike one. Oh, 1 the count for Indomenico. Fastball inside. Ball 1 to the lefty. One the count. Indomenico shrugs and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Indomenico elevated a slider. Nathan Brewer wanted all of it. Torrey looking for back-to-back strikeouts. Can't get it there. A foul tip keeps Nathan Brewer on life support.
And you can talk about the pitching all you want. Obviously, Michael Irby did not have his stuff today. But the Cropdusters are going to win this game. They needed to put up more than 2 runs.
There's still plenty of time for them to do so as Brewer powers one to center field. High in the air, but does not nearly have the distance. Lukac stares at it and makes the play for out number 2. Carter Groen up to bat. He was intentionally walked his last time up. 1 for 2 on the day otherwise. And for good reason. This guy leads the league with 9 homers. Led the Senators with 28 RBIs as well on the year. He was the Week 5 hitter of the week in the Cal Ripken League for having a 2-home run game against the Braves. He had two homers against the Braves this season in 2 separate games. First pitch from Indomenico in the dirt for ball 1. Half of his homers came down at South County High School. 1-0. In the dirt again, ball 2. Groen's got a big bat, but doesn't use it yet.
A lot of homers came at South County High School this year.
The Braves led the league in home runs, but also led the league in home runs allowed. Almost 40 knocked out of their ballpark. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Groen well out in front of the first strike. Two-one. Indomenico gains some ground back. Gets the sign from Ahern. And delivers from the windup. Swing and a foul ball chopped down the third base side. Indomenico looking to put an exclamation point on this inning. He's 1 strike away from greatness. Ballerina, 2-2 count. Swing, and that's muscled down the right field line and pokes beyond the foul pole for another foul ball. Seven to 2, the Senators still lead in front of the Cropdusters, but a shutout inning would go a long way. 2-2, called ball low, full count. Indomenico tried the slider. That got Groen swinging earlier this at-bat. He's learned from his mistakes quickly. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Goodbye. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Tori Indomenico. 2 Ks on the day, back-to-back shutout innings, and the Cropdusters bats look to finish what they started. After leaving the bases stranded in the 5th, they look to continue business as normal in the top of the 6th. Stay with us for it. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call. Night falls in Waldorf, where the Senators lead the Cropdusters 7-2 in this elimination game. I'm Jish Sokolsky, joined by Jack Feldman. And Jack, are you familiar with werewolf lore?
I can't say that I am.
Well, in werewolf lore, when there's a full moon out, those who are werewolves transform from humans into these beasts. And the Cropdusters, they'll have to be a different animal the rest of the way. They've only mustered 2 runs in the first 5 innings. Perhaps this full moon can give them the jolt that they need.
Just, are you a werewolf?
We'll have to find out. This full moon's getting a little clearer now. I don't know, Jack. If I start howling, you just can't be surprised. Bottom of the order first for the Cropdusters, the 7, 8, and 9 due up, starting with Ahia Koje, the left fielder, 0 for 2 on the day. He pops one into the shallow left field. Boris, the shortstop, calling off the third baseman Guy, and puts a squeeze on it for out number 1.
We've seen some sky-high pop-ups tonight.
That one almost touched the full moon, but Koje, in search of his first hit, instead collects his first out. Davis Rivers, the reliever for the Senators, came in last frame and mitigated the damage, left 3 stranded. Now gets through his first out in his first full inning. First pitch to Nick Lukac, a strike on the inside part, right around the knees, to go ahead of the center fielder. Lukac 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a flyout. 0-1. Check swing on an inside pitch, ball 1. Base is empty with 1 out in the top of the 6th. The pitch, swing, and a chopper sent foul for strike 2. Lukac searching to stay alive in the righty batter's box. Rivers needs a new baseball before we continue. Lukac had his first home run of the summer at this ballpark just 3 days ago. Another slam like that could give the Cropdusters the jolt they need. 1-2 hit high in the air backwards. He's staying alive at a 1-2 count. One out, base is empty for the center fielder. Lukac twirls the bat around and comes set. Slider low and away, ball 2. Lukac evens it up. Two, 1 out, base is empty. Rivers from the windup. Hit backwards for the second time. Lukac not going down without a fight. His second foul ball with 2 strikes. Now he'll look to put one in play. The 2-2. Inside. That works too. Ball 3, a full count for Nick Lukac.
He's having a really good at-bat right now, fouling off some tough pitches, taking some close balls.
This is where he struck out on a full count in the second inning to end it on a borderline call. 3-2, swing, and a foul tip right into the glove of McHugh. That's a strikeout, and out number 2 for the Cropdusters. First 2 up, first 2 down. Josh Reinhold up to bat with bases empty and 2 outs. Looking to start the rally. Umpire correcting the PA guy who incorrectly said number 5 and called him Josh Reinhold.
It's been a tough night for him.
We're doing the broadcast, they're doing the PA. Reinhold has had not a tough night. He just got his first hit and scored on that venture. He takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. That hit came in the last frame to lead off. Came all the way around off a Bryce Herb single. If he gets on, the top of the order is up. 1-0. At the feet, but a called strike on the corner. It looked like Reinhold had to scoot away from that fastball, but a called strike nonetheless to even it up. 1-1. High and in, ball 2. It seems that any pitch inside, Reinhold does that duck dodge away from. Half because it almost hits him, and half maybe to sway the umpire. 2-1. Low and away this time. No spin to speak of, but ball 3 is on the board. Reinhold in a swingers count. 3-1. 2 outs and none on. Rivers comes set and deals. Strike down the middle. And now he's one well-placed pitch away from putting the inning on ice. Already struck out Nick Lukac from the full count. Can he do it to Reinhold too? 3-2, 2 outs on the way. Swing and a weak hit ball up the middle that falls in the infield. Sweeney on the run, but it's away from Kennedy at first base. And it's out of play too, so Reinhold advances to second.
Some luck for the Cropdusters.
Yet to see how that's scored, but if I were doing the scoring, that's a hit and then an error. Josh Reinhold gets the second base. And that is how it's scored, a hit with the error. And now Carter Hines has a chance to bring Josh Reinhold home for the second time today. But with 2 outs, he'll have to either get a walk or put one in play. Scott Middleton, the Senators manager, talks over the decision with the first base umpire before we resume. Now Carter Hines up to bat. With 2 outs on the top of the 6th, the Cropdusters trail by 5, but with a runner in scoring position, Carter Hines can play the hero. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Been jumping the first pitch all night long. Tried to do it there. Just couldn't get a barrel on it.
He's 1 for 3 on the night. Reached twice. The second time came from an error. 0-1 the count. Rivers ahead of Hines. A look back and the delivery. Called strike on the low corner. Hines has to reassess to keep the inning alive. 0-2. 2 outs. Reinhold at second base. Cropdusters left 3 stranded last time. Desperately trying not to do the same. 0-2. Swing and a soft hit ball foul. Carter Hines keeps the inning on life support. Hines grounded out his last time up on an athletic play from the second baseman Sweetie, sprinting onto the grass and making the throw. He's been making dazzling defensive plays all night. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Davis Rivers, the most recent of which ends the 6th. Cropdusters remain down by 5. To the bottom of the 6th we go, 7-2 in favor of the Senators. We'll see you then. The Cropdusters need a miracle to come back from this 5-run hole. Still plenty of time to get that, but they'll have to get through the bottom of this 6th first. They're down 7-2 to the Senators in a do-or-die wildcard game. The winner of this game more than likely goes on to play the Alexandria Aces, while the loser goes home. Torian Domenico is the pitcher for the Cropdusters, up against the 4, 5, and 6 batters to start, but he's coming off his best inning yet. Best inning for the Cropdusters. A 1-2-3 frame, one in which he threw 2 strikeouts. See what he's got left for Ian Kennedy to lead off. First pitch, check swing on a ball low.
Jish, I know how much you like New Jersey. I don't know if you're quite ready to go back. I think you want the Cropdusters to win a couple more games here.
1-0. Power deep in left field. You can kiss that ball goodbye. Ian Kennedy, break out the tape measures. It is 8-2 in favor of the Senators. A solo shot to lead off the 6th.
That was a towering home run. Think that was further than Lukács?
I don't think it had the exact distance, but height-wise, every day of the week. And Domenico shows his first blemish, his first earned run of the day. It's now 8-2 Senators in the bottom of the 6th. And the job becomes even harder for the Cropdusters. Nate McHugh up to bat now. First pitch, a called strike. 0-1. Right down the middle for strike 2. And Domenico showing no fear after just giving up his first home run of the season. Still no outs in the bottom of the 6th. The Senators have already increased their lead to 6. 0-2. In the dirt, ball 1. And Domenico has worked a lot of 0-2 counts so far today. It's a matter of finishing the job. 1-2. The pitch. Called ball just outside. And Domenico thought he had him. Instead, he evens the count. Ballerina count, 2-2. McHugh spins the bat twice. And the pitch. Powered foul. He stays alive with a loud thud.
I wonder what that hit.
Didn't sound good.
Did not sound
Sounded like it hit a stack of bricks. It's probably somebody's vehicle, if I had to guess. Very tough. Been there. 2-2, sliced down the left field line, and fair for extra bases. Buried in the corner of the outfield. McHugh easily stands up at second to keep the party going. A home run and a double for the Senators to start the 6th. The Cropdusters are slowly watching their season slip away from their fingers. So Mikey Guy steps up to bat. 2 for 3 on the day. He's been very solid. On defense as well at that third base spot. Still no outs in the bottom of the 6th. It's getting late early for the Cropdusters. The dugout is as in it as ever for the Senators. Called strike on the low corner to start off. And Domenico gets ahead of his second straight batter. 0-1. Low and away. That gets away from Ahern. Brewer stops his run at third off the wild pitch. And now a sacrifice fly is on the table with a ball and a strike.
I think that was a cross up there. And Domenico tapping his chest to say, my bad.
One. And Domenico steps back out on the bump. Nate McHugh, the runner at third, with no outs. 1-1. Called strike on the low corner. And Domenico gets ahead with a slider.
Cropdusters bringing the infield in. Down 8-2.
They want to stop the bleeding where they can. It's the Senators' first run scored since the third. A ball inside to even it up at 2-2. A lone shout, "Let's go Dusters," from the crowd here. I'd say the Cropdusters fans probably equal to the Senators fans in attendance. 2-2 is in the dirt, but Ahern buries it for just a normal ball and not another wild pitch. Full count now on the way next. Infield still in for the Cropdusters with a runner at third base. 3-2. Swing and a ball shot through to left field for another knock. That scores McHugh. 3 straight hits for the Senators to make it 9-2 in the bottom of the 6th.
It's really a shocking Jish.
And we've already seen we're now seeing pinch hitters for the Senators. They think they got this one in the bag. Owen DeShaz of the designated hitter's day is done. After a walk and 2 strikeouts, he's replaced by Kai Queen, this third baseman from Norfolk State. And now, Coach Evans has to talk to Torian Domenico before we continue.
Just hasn't really been the Cropdusters' day.
And on a day they needed it to be their day in the playoffs.
One day that really matters.
You know, Jack, we built up a lot of optimism towards the end of the season. Big wins over the Giants. 2 of them. Sandwiched with a win over the Thunderbolts in between. We're thinking maybe this is the right time. The Cropdusters are getting hot. But never would we imagine that the Crops would be down 9-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Still with no outs and a new reliever coming in. That's Jaden Newton. I'm sure they wanted to save him for a start. But now, with time running short on their season, they can't afford to keep Jaden Newton, their all-star pitcher, in the wings any longer. He's out on the bump.
I agree.
Jaden Newton, one of 3 all-star pitchers for the Cropdusters. He finished with the lowest ERA on the team, a 1.30 in 20 2/3. Only 3 earned runs all season long. His first start came right here at Regency Stadium. He made 2 subsequent starts the rest of the year and 7 total appearances. He's come up time and time again for the Cropdusters when they've needed him most. I think back to the Big Train game that they lost 8-5. They came in, well, Jaden Newton came in with an 8-0 deficit. The Cropdusters almost climbed out of thanks to Newton's shutdown pitching for 4 subsequent innings. They'll need him to be shut down yet again. Torian Domenico has already given up 2 runs with no outs still in this 6th inning and 1 runner on. The Cropdusters turn to Jaden Newton with their season on the line.
Jish, you have your head in your palms right now. It's just been that kind of day.
It's setting in, Jack, you know, because not only has it been that kind of day, if they can't come out with a playoff win, you know, it puts an end to the season. It's a sad thought to think about. There have been some really great times this summer, and it's just appearing more and more like the inevitable is just being prolonged. Runner at first, Kai Queen gets his first at-bat of the day with no outs in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch from Newton, a ball low. Jaden Newton has a runner at first base. You know that typically means he tries to pick off. And there it is.
Oh, way to call that. Who would have seen that coming?
Probably anybody who's watched more than one Jaden Newton appearance. Even though that runner wasn't put on in his accord, he still feels responsible for it. But the whip back, not on time. A ball high on the fastball from Newton, the East Stroudsburg righty. Guy takes a lead off of first. Queen dodges an inside heater for ball 3. Jaden Newton starts off cold with 3 straight balls. 3-0. Called strike right down the middle. Kai Queen was going to lay off either way. Throw back to first. Gets away from Fry. That's the first time we've seen that happen all season. Of course it happens in the playoffs. Guy takes second.
Of course it happens in the playoffs. It's probably thrown over the course of the season, what, 50 times? About that accurate?
I would say that Jaden Newton has probably thrown as many pickoffs as he has balls all season.
It's pretty crazy. That'd be a wild stat.
That would be. I wish we had the numbers on that, but alas, you'll just have to take our word for it. Runner at second now, and that's cracked right to Fry at first, but there was no fielder to cover the second base bag to turn 2. Great instinctual play for Parker Fry to atone for the error. So Jaden Newton gets through his first batter. And Silas Boris steps up to bat. Boris has turned it on in the playoffs. 2 for 3 today. First pitch is shot foul for strike 1. But in the season, Boris was only hitting .209. Looks like he's saving his best for last. The shortstop from Georgia Southern settles into the righty box with a runner in scoring position and just 1 out and a 9-2 lead. 0-1 is too low for ball 1. Boris brings the count even. One. Fastball low for ball 2. Still just 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. The Senators have already scored twice. Newton spikes a fastball away for ball 3. Just as hitting is contagious, so too is being cold. When one person's off, it seems that everybody in this Cropdusters lineup can't pick up the slack. 3-1. Called strike at the bottom part of the zone. Boris already bat flipped and all was ready to head down the first base line, but instead has to settle back in with a full count.
It's a long walk to go pick up at your bat after that.
He's already starting to unstrap the elbow guard, and now he's on the precipice of striking out. And Jaden Newton looks for his first strikeout of the day with one more hit. 3-2. Swing and a miss. There it is. Jaden Newton comes in, lines out his first batter, and strikes out his second. Senators have already scored twice, but would love to bring in Mikey Guy from second. It's up to Mike Swenda to do so. First pitch, hit foul, strike 1.
Got a breaking ball and missed it. Something he could handle.
Sweeney, 1 for 2 on the day, with a hit by pitch as well. He's been making miraculous plays on defense. 0-1, too low to even it up with a ball.
Newton making a lot of competitive pitches here, Jish.
1-1. He's getting a little better as the game's gone on. That's hit off his foot for a foul ball and strike 2. It's always painful when you shoot one right off your foot.
That is never fun.
Picture stubbing your toe, but 10 times worse, at least. We've all done that.
All been there.
Mike Sweeney walking it off with Mikey Guy at second base. Sweeney looking to avoid a strikeout. 1-2, too high. Ball 2.
Sweeney was the starting third baseman on the best high school baseball team in New York, according to Perfect Game.
Wow. Look at that. 2-2. Misses low and away for ball 3. He didn't have to go far. He's from Long Island. Hofstra, also on the island. Out in Hempstead, New York. Sure, he was recruited heavily by the Long Island school. It's also where Syracuse tight end Dan Villari went. 3-2. Newton steps off to keep Guy glued. Syracuse football is now what I guess we'll have to focus on if the result holds. Both of us going to Syracuse University. The football season just around the corner. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Jaden Newton to keep the Cropdusters' hopes ever so slim, but alive. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call. It's 9-2 Senators after 6. Stay with us for the top of the 7th. And 9-2. The chances for the Cropdusters are slim, but not none. So we head to the top of the 7th. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call for this one. Cropdusters in a 7-run hole to the home team Senators. Even though the Cropdusters came in with the better record, they were the lower seed and thus had to travel all this way. You don't want to make excuses this late in the season, but the home field advantage definitely working for the Senators so far. Bryce Herb, the batter to lead off the 7th, takes one low in the zone for strike 1. Davis Rivers, the pitcher out there, threw 2 strikeouts in his last inning of work, only 1 hit. That was his first full inning. 0-1. Low and away, ball 1. Herb evens it up.
Cropdusters just 9 outs to play with. Have to start putting some runs up on the board.
Herb has been a bright spot for the Cropdusters today. One of 2 Crops with multiple hits. Back-to-back singles in the 5th and the 3rd inning. Coincidentally, those are the 2 innings that the Cropdusters scored in. So if he gets on, it's a good omen for the Cropdusters. We'll see if he does. 1-1. Too low, ball 2. Herb ahead, 2 balls to 1 strike. All-Star deals to All-Star. Hit high and foul. Herb gets even with a strike.
Another arm getting loose in the Senators' bullpen.
2-2 the count. The pitch from Rivers. Hit up the middle to short. Snatched on the hop by Boris, who makes the throw across, but away from Kennedy. A throwing error keeps Herb safe. The 2nd error of the day for Boris. So every time that Bryce Herb has gotten on, the Cropdusters have scored. We'll see if that trend holds true. Although this time was off an error. 9-2, the Senators still lead over the Cropdusters in the top of the 7th. Jimmy Kirk up to bat. He's 0 for 1 with a sac fly and a walk. His one non-hit was a grounded double play to end the first inning. And that really set the tone for the Cropdusters all day. First pitch swung through on a high fastball, strike one. Rivers the look back. And the 0-1. Right down the middle, strike two. Kirk caught spitting at it. Rivers wants the first out right here. He takes a look back at Herb at first. And the 0-2. Swing and a high fly ball to left field. Guy gives chase all the way back at the stands, but it falls for nothing. A foul ball with 2 strikes keeps Jimmy Kirk alive. Mikey Guy and Silas Boris, a little bit of a communication error. That was a ball that could have been fielded by either of them.
Yeah, that should have been caught right there. In play.
Probably on the shortstop at that point. Although it looked like it ran a little bit. PA announcer just announcing Jimmy Kirk's at-bat. He's already gone through 3 pitches. It's tough. 0-2, throwback. Herb is safe. To the count. No outs. Rivers wants to change it here. He can't. Ball high. Kirk gets some ground back. So the count runs to 1-2. Bryce Herb takes a step off of first. 1-2. Swing and a hard hit ball up the middle. This could be 2. Boris to Sweeney to Kennedy. A double play. Jimmy Kirk's second grounded double play to bring 2 outs to the board in the top of this 7th. Cropdusters now down to their final 7 outs. And Quinn Ahern up to bat. And that'll be Davis Rivers' day. A solid showing for the Wofford righty. 2 strikeouts, no earned runs. And now it'll be up to a closer to finish the job for the Senators in a 7-run hole. They probably just had Rivers on an out limit.
Yeah, he was phenomenal tonight. Came in after Matt Hoover and did a great job.
So any goodwill the Cropdusters built up with that base runner and now gone. They'll have to start from scratch with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Quinn Ahern to lead off against this new reliever. That is number 35, Ty Harris, the lefty from Brown University. We got a smart fella. He hails from a town called The Woodlands, Texas. The is in the title of the town.
What are your thoughts on that, Jish?
I think it's unique. I'm not particularly against that. On the year, Ty Harris has appeared in 11 games, no starts. 15 2/3 with 11 earned runs, giving him a 6.31 ERA, but 22 strikeouts. It's tied for fourth most on the team. The first lefty that they're employing today against a lineup made mostly of righties for the Cropdusters, outside of just one. Perhaps this is all the Crops need to come back, but they'll have to do so soon. They'll have to prove that they can come back first. They're down by 7. They've never jumped out of this hole at all in the regular season.
I think the only way to sum up this performance from the Cropdusters tonight, Jish, is just stunning, disappointing,
Deflating.
deflating.
Jimmy Kirk, after going on a hot streak to end the season, three three-hit games in his last 5. Grounds into 2 double plays today. It's just been the opposite of what you'd expect. It's been Murphy's Law for the Cropdusters. Time's running out on their season. Quinn Ahern steps up with a 7-run hole and 2 outs. All they need is just a little spark. Perhaps a new reliever is all the Crops need. Base is empty after the double play. Time called by the home plate umpire. Just for a second, though, we're ready to resume. 2 outs plague the top of the 7th. Ahern looking desperately to keep this inning alive. First pitch from Harris. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. That's how Quinn Ahern went down in his last 2 at-bats, swinging strikeouts. Starts off where he left off, a swing and a miss. 0-1. Called strike on the inside. Harris 1 strike away from his first punch-out and putting the 7th inning to bed. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Quinn Ahern today, and the Senators continue to dismantle the Cropdusters. To the 7th inning stretch we go. The Senators looking to stretch their season. They're in position to do so with a 9-2 margin of lead. Jish, Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call here on YouTube. Stay with us. In what could be the last game of the season for the Cropdusters, everybody is seeing time on the bump. It's now Pavlos Piparakis' turn in a 7-run hole to the Senators in the bottom of the 7th. Piparakis got his first appearance here at Waldorf Stadium, and Jack, we knew he was special right from the jump. Threw 5 strikeouts in 3 innings in his first appearance.
He's been special all season long. Nothing short of stellar.
24 strikeouts on the year for Piparakis, tied for the team lead with Jaden Newton, who he's taken the ropes from, and Marty Coyne. Or rather, all of them are in a 3-way tie for second place to Garrett Corbett. Piparakis now stares the final 3 frames down in a 7-run hole. And he'll face off against the top of the order first, Logan Tribble, up to bat. 2 for 3 on the day with a strikeout and a walk. Piparakis in the regular season had a 2.11 ERA, only 4 earned runs in 17 innings pitched. First pitch, chopped down the middle. Hines fields off the short hop and makes the long throw for out number 1. One pitch, 1 out for Piparakis. Exactly how you need to start it.
Economical. Some would say.
You would say that. I'm going to miss you saying that, Jack. Nathan Brewer up to bat. He is 1 for 4 on the day, but that one hit, a bases clearing triple. He's a big reason why the Senators more than likely will advance. Pitch low, a ball to start off. 1-0 the count. 1 out, none on. Called strike on the outside part. Piparakis gets even. 1-1 the count. 1 out. The pitch. In the dirt. Ball 2. Piparakis didn't get a lot of playing time at Troy University this past spring, but if his coaches are looking at what he's done this summer, he's definitely earned more. 2-1. Swing a hard hit ball right to Hines, who pins the ball to the dirt for out number 2. Pavlos Piparakis, an all-star for the Cropdusters, now faces off against an all-star for the Senators, Carter Groen. Only one hit today, but they really haven't needed him to do much more. They have a 9-2 lead in spite of his one-hit day. He wanted to change that with that swing, but instead rolls it down the right field line for strike 1. Appears as though Groen broke his bat on the foul ball, so he gets a new one. No matter what bat Groen swings, he's going to probably hit the ball hard. 9 homers on the year, including one against the Cropdusters. A solo shot. 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Piparakis gets 2 strikes on his first 2 pitches. Now to finish the job. Swing and a bullet to right field that Herb settles under for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 7th gives the Cropdusters just 6 outs to work with to surmount 7 runs. 9-2 Senators. We'll see you at the top of the 8th. Jish, Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call. Nine to 2. 2 innings left for the Cropdusters. Jish Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call as the Cropdusters trail the Senators by a country mile. Anthony Swenda to lead off the comeback attempt in the top of the 8th. The only comeback win the Cropdusters have had this season was over the Metro South County Braves, and it started off with an Anthony Swenda bomb. But even that deficit was much less than this one. Ty Harris stretches and deals. Called strike on the inside corner to get ahead of Swenda. Harris threw a strikeout to end the 7th frame to complete a 1-2-3 inning started by Davis Rivers. Now an 0-1 count. The pitch. Called strike in the same spot. Anthony Swenda, in his 2nd year with the Cropdusters, has experienced playoff defeat and playoff triumph. He deserves a lot of credit for coming in midway through the year and revitalizing the Cropdusters. 0-2, outside for ball 1. With his play and with his intangibles, he came in around the All-Star break, and the Cropdusters went 8-6 ever since he was a consistent member of the starting lineup, enough to push them into the playoffs. 1-2, outside for ball 2. Graduate student, played his last 4 years at UMBC, where he led the Retrievers in average, in RBIs, and in homers this past season. He'll now play for LSU Shreveport, potentially as a catcher. There's nothing this guy can't do. 2-2, no outs. Swing and a high fly ball deep into left field. That's running back there, and it is out of here. Don't tune out just yet. The Cropdusters show a glimmer of hope, a light at the end of the tunnel, thanks to a barrel from Anthony Swenda, the first for the Cropdusters in the playoffs, to bring the lead down to 6.
You got all of that one. Got a fastball, middle, and pulled it over the left field wall.
It's now 9-3 in the top of the 8th. Parker Fry up to bat. He has a hit today. We'll see if that hit's put a jolt